everybody. This is the Ron Schneider Memorial Tournament at Danny K's here in Orange, California. Getting underway now. Looks like we got a coin flip. This is going to be Martin Vick versus Henry. I'm not sure about the name. Brot,
maybe?
B-R-O-D-T. Henry is rated at 18 in this tournament. Martin is, I didn't see what he's rated, but this is going to be a 6-4 match. Henry goes to 6 games. Martin goes to 4 games. 9-ball. Rack your own. Winner break. 3 fouls in effect. So, my name is Mike Laus. My co-commentator is Mark Ballin.
Good morning, everybody.
I'm not sure.
I'm actually going to be the one that's here all day long. Mike's playing in this tournament. I'm not. I'm just going to be sitting here bringing you guys some, I don't know, we're going to talk all day. That's what's going to happen.
I'll be playing 2 quick matches, and then I'll be free to join Mark for the rest of the day.
Oh, cool. Glad you're going to join me quickly. That'll be great.
technical setup we're doing.
Getting the booth figured out a little bit.
Well, all right, so Henry's going to come to the table with ball in hand here. Let's see what he's got. Yeah, pretty open table here.
Yeah, the pattern lays pretty easy.
Yeah, let's just kind of connect the dots.
Henry's a pretty strong player, too. I've played him a number of times.
Henry's a very strong player. He's won the U.S. Amateur Championship a couple of times, if I'm not mistaken.
And I believe we have the scoreline right. I think this is still the first game.
Yeah, Martin got the 2 games on the wire.
Yeah, Martin's getting 2, so raise to 6.
This might come a little short here.
Okay. I didn't know he'd won an amateur championship before.
I think he's won a couple of them.
That's pretty good.
That's the rumor anyway. I don't have documentation or anything, but 3 times.
We're getting the signal he's won it 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. That's pretty impressive. So this guy's a tournament tough kind of road warrior. So, all right, plays another good safety. He got a little bit out of line of the 5. Had to duck here one time. Martin has an easy contact with the 5, but nothing to hide behind once he makes contact. So
really the best he's hoping for here is try to put the 5 up on the end rail, maybe near the 8 if he can, but any kind of distance is really what you're looking for.
This shot you might just opt to put a lot of pace on it and hope you get a lot of spread and get a little bit lucky or something. Try to put the balls at 2 ends of the table. But he's left a super tough shot, lots of distance.
This ball is absolutely cuttable, but you really have to.
Yeah, no, it can be made. It's low percentage, especially for me. So
unfortunately, I just don't see any other way at it. You really just have to attack this ball.
You could try to 2-rail this back to the center of this end rail as we're looking here, or something like that, and try to get a lot of separation. Maybe something like that, or you could thin the right side of this ball and try to bring the cue ball back around where it's at. It kind of looks like that's what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to thin the right side of the 5 and bring the cue ball probably behind the 9. Oh no, he went for the 2-rail option I mentioned earlier. Hit it a little bit fat. It's not a horrible result. I mean, obviously Henry can see this, but shot's a little tough.
He does have an option here to lay up behind the 9 if he wants to.
Yeah, he could bank this back up by the 8 ball and try to get the cue ball behind the 6.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of options here.
On the other side of the 6, or the 5 on the other side of the 6, trying to get the cue behind the 9, like this.
Looks like that's what he elected to do. Yeah. You get the 6 and the 9 to play as a blocker there, so you have 2 options.
And now Martin is totally tree-topped over the top of this 9 ball. He has some.
Don't have to do a lot to get the job done in this game sometimes.
Can you see the edge of this? Probably not.
I believe he's going to have to kick into it. And here, the same thing, you're really just looking for distance. It's very difficult to try and make the ball here at all.
He's got to go to get a rail here.
It looks like that got the rail just barely.
Okay. Well, still another difficult shot here for Martin. But it's the best look he's had as far as for several innings at the table.
That 8 ball's really big. You're going to have to draw off this 5 to try and come back out to the middle of the table. That 8 removes the ability to put any kind of top or a right side spin on that, which is personally the way I prefer to make these
Yeah,
balls
that's
if I
the way
ever
most
get the
people
chance.
prefer to play it, but he's going to have to. Well, he looks like he still
Looks
might
like
be
he's still
going high
trying
ball.
to put some high on this.
Yeah, maybe he feels like he can get around the 8. Man, he's shooting for a small window here. Oh.
Nope,
okay.
nope.
Looked like
We
he was
just
addressing-
can't see at all, is really what
Well,
happened
it looked
there.
like he was initially addressing the ball high, like he wanted to go around the table, but that was a really good shot. That's Jim right there.
Did you know something about the board?
Not too much. What's your question? I might build up.
47.
You're game 40. You don't have a first round match. I think there's only going to be 30. Man, 16. There's only 16 tables here, so
Two full rounds of games before you play, so like
Yeah, you
probably
got
2-3 hours minimum.
probably 11 o'clock, something like that. Yep. All right.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, sir.
All right. Henry.
Getting greeted by all the happy players here at Danny K's.
Henry's got a couple options here. He can go forward, 2 rails. Like, that's what he's done. Left himself.
Would have liked to have been a little bit more straight, but realistically, getting in the middle of the table every shot is just fine.
We could just about mark this game up. All right. Henry gets one of his spotted games back.
Here, I guess.
So let us know. We got looks like about 5 people watching at the moment. If you guys don't mind sharing, that'd be great. We posted that we shared this to several different pool playing related Facebook pages.
What the stream? What?
All right. Wow. We got 3 balls on the break here by Henry. It's a good break. He's got a shot at the 1 ball.
Yeah, getting down to the 2 is almost natural as well.
It is, yeah.
Actually, he even has a chance to make the 9 early here if he ends up hitting that really thin. I don't expect him to play that ball, but it is not outside the realm of possibility
Definitely
here.
not. No, if he can check this up with a little bit of inside England just like this.
Perfect. It's good speed. He's got a nice angle on the 2 here. Easily get to the 4.
Well, the 7 plays a little bit in the way here. Not easily get into the 4. So he's, I don't know. I think if I'm not sure what he's going to do exactly. The 7 is kind of in his path, in my opinion.
He's got a couple ways to get to it. You can always hit this with a little bit of low left and come 2 rails out to
Yeah.
the middle. I think he can also go straight up and hit it,
Oh,
or you
okay,
could
yeah.
even go on the far side of the section.
Excellent shot there.
So, right back in line. If anything, he's almost 2 straight on this 4 ball. He should be able to just go ahead and stop it, leave the cue ball right there, and have another draw shot, or
yeah.
could even follow, go up and down the table after the 5. There's really a lot of ways he could play this.
Yep.
What do you think here? Do you like the draw, or you like just
I
running
draw
around the
this
table?
back. I play this like a 3-foot draw shot or something like that, and you basically just want to draw it silky enough to avoid punching it over towards that side pocket. He's
Just like that.
good shot. He's out. Well, yeah, we assume he's out.
You can start cursing people this early in the morning, are you?
Yeah. Well, you can see on that last shot we had a good view. He's got some adrenaline going in the arm. That's early. That's pretty natural for these types of tournaments. You know, it's
It's going to be a long day for all these
it's going to
players.
be a very long day. Yeah, that's a good shot. You know, this is a tournament you want to perform well. You put a little bit of pressure on yourself, maybe. 112 players, as I might have mentioned earlier, $3,500 added. This tournament is in recognition of the passing of a friend of this pool hall, Danny K's here, named Ron Schneider. Ron Schneider was a regular player here for all our weekly tournaments for many, many years, 20-something years, and was a knowledgeable guy. Liked to share his knowledge. You know, he taught pool. He wrote books on pool.
Made some videos.
Yeah. He'd come in and just kind of give little pre-tournament. I don't know if you call it a seminar, but you know, he'd get on, just little demonstrations on certain things. He was
Enjoy
really
giving back to the community.
yeah,
a
for
lot.
sure. Yeah, really focused on the kicking game and the diamond system and kind of teaching a lot of things about that. But super nice guy. Yeah, we all miss him a lot.
Been 2-3 years? How long has it been now?
I don't think it's been that long. I don't know the exact date.
Fair enough.
I think it's been.
I want to say it's been about 2 years.
Has it been that long? I think it's probably about a year, maybe slightly less. I could be wrong.
Okay, well, once again, got a pretty open layout. As long as this ball goes in the side,
Yeah, I don't think it does. I think he's going to cross over this and play safe. Yeah,
that little nudge is going to help him out quite a bit.
definitely.
And I think that the jump here is probably going to be the way to go. That the 6 ball becomes rather
Is it
large if
possible
you're
that
trying
he
to
can
one
see the
rail
left
this.
edge of this ball?
Maybe. I think the 2 is going to be more or less blocking the whole ball. I don't think he's going to have anything to shoot at here.
Okay. This is a long distance jump for me. I don't know if I like trying to carry over this 2 ball. And that 2 looks to be a good 3 feet away from the cue ball, roughly.
He does have the option to go up to the short rail first. I really think that the one rail kick on the left side of your screen here is probably the way to go, but he
get
could go
it?
to the top of the table
6 is
first.
kind of big here.
The 6 is definitely a big ball, yeah.
He's got multiple options. He could play like I think the 7 is kind of blocking the
You know,
one rail
there's
pass,
even
so-
a 3 rail kick at this if you kick right past the 6 and go 3
Yeah,
rails to hit the
I
1.
see that. He's playing to tie up traffic.
Yeah, it looks like he was just trying to create a problem.
It's not that's a smart shot. I don't think he executed quite the way he wanted to. He wanted to get the 9 a little bit closer to that 5. Those shots when you're trying to tie up traffic, when you're in that much trouble, are super critical. I mean, they're more speed critical than most of your, position shots and stuff like that. Because
Especially because you get the option of not focusing as much on the cue ball. You can devote 100% of your attention
you're
to the
fouling.
object ball. So
Right.
it should, theoretically simplify their shot a little bit. Looks like he overran that by about a foot. He really wanted to shoot that in the bottom corner.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic for him to kind of get himself this far out of line with ball in hand. But like
Looks
I said,
like he's
it's
going to be able
early.
to change plans, put it in the side, and then I think he might be able to run into the 3 ball here, or even go between the 3-9.
I think he would have to probably elevate to get. I think if he hits a natural high ball, so like he'd need to, he's might be flirting with his corner pocket. Oh, see, he
Nope,
overcut it.
just decided to. Looks like he just decided to play safe and try and tuck it behind the 5 there. He liked Martin's
assisted
idea.
Martin in tying up the
Yes,
5 and 9.
he really liked Martin's idea of tying those balls up and thought, you know what, you didn't do a good enough job.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a 5-9 combination attempt coming up here in a couple shots.
Getting past this 6 ball can be a bit of a challenge if you're going to make this 2 in that top right pocket.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not a huge ball, but it's definitely a concern.
Yeah, difficult to get position on the shot. Martin plays pretty conservative. He likes to maneuver. See, he doesn't take a lot of unnecessary risks. So he hit that ball great.
That's a great result.
That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Right. What is Henry's probably going to have to go with a one rail option to the right side of our screen as we're looking at it.
That's really the only thing I see here too. The good news is, if he hits this soft, he might be able to drop the cue ball in back behind that 9-5 and get the two ball out in the middle of the table.
A lot of good things can happen on the shot. There's
Even if you come
a lot of
underneath
safety
it,
potential
yeah,
just like
it's
this
just
on
like
this
this.
shot.
It's phenomenally hit.
Okay, he does have a one rail path, kind of the same direction Henry just shot. That's pretty much his only path here, but
More or less, yeah. Do you like hitting this hard sometimes? Try and
Henry
get some
may be calling
separation
for
on
a
the
referee.
line?
Yeah, Henry's going to have someone watch this hit. Our buddy Abe Lim, the operator of the California Pool Action Vortex page, is going to
Gonna go ahead and
play
step in
referee for this shot. He's going to film this. We've kind of gone. Table at home and diamonds. The rails bank and kick a lot tighter, shorter than most other tables. Particularly these tables at Danny K's. These tables play about as long as any tables I've ever played on, so that's going to be a tough adjustment. Martin is a regular player here, but he goes back and forth. Most of his practice is on his table at home, obviously.
We are playing with a 3-foul rule, so I would absolutely expect to see Henry go ahead and tie him up here again with the balls being so close.
Oh yeah, he sure did. Okay. Well,
That is really a tough one to get to now. I'm not even sure if he can go past the 9 to try and play some kind of 2 or 3 rail kick down at the 2.
he can't. Well,
And let's go ahead and take a look at this.
he's going to try to thread this needle, it looks like, but there is a 2 to 3 rail kick up. It's super difficult to calculate. So he's going to try to thread this needle here.
What
Wow.
a shot. There was not a lot of room to get through there.
That was incredible, actually. I mean, he had, what's the ball, 2 1/4? He probably has
Yeah, maybe.
2 3/4 inches. He had about a half inch of space to get through that shot. And he had to use a little bit of spin, I believe, because obviously
Looked like he hit it with a little bit of top right to get it to turn.
he had to hit the rail above the pocket and get the cue ball to track. That was an amazing shot.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be any reward whatsoever here. He's just going to go ahead and play safe one more time.
He's left a piece of this ball.
Not enough that he can make it, but realistically, we're just going to see that 3 end up right down in that 5-9 cluster after this shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Unless he can see it full in the face, then you might see him 2 rail it around the other side of the 6 or something like that to the same area. But he's either going to bank this straight up the middle of the table or 2 rail it around the 6 ball to roughly the same spot. I like the straight up the middle portion, the option
Yes.
better because you can run your cue ball up to the upper right hand corner of the table and maybe get the 8 in between or something like that.
Looks like he
He's
really
jumping,
can't
he's
see enough
massing.
of this, so...
Okay,
Oh my, he obviously was not playing that, but
yeah.
you were absolutely right that the 8 ball was going to get involved. Once again, I think he can see a piece of this 5, so we should see the 5 ball coming up past the 6, and if he does really well, he might even be able to go ahead and
Well,
clip
if
the
he-
9 on the other end.
He's got to hit this thin in order not to scratch, if he can even. Oh, he's kicking.
Looks
at
like
the
he's
ball.
electing to go real.
distance, but someone of Henry's abilities is going to really like this. These pockets are relatively forgiving. They're pretty wide. Some of them are not. The cut angles on the corner pockets will reject the ball shot down a rail at speed on occasion, but
Struck that one really well.
pockets aren't super tight here. This tournament's going to be cue ball fouls only, so you don't have to worry about your shirt draping on something like that 7-ball or something like that necessarily. If you move more than one object ball, or two or more, it will be a ball and hand foul. But if you move one ball, the rule is that the opponent, you notify your opponent, he has the option of placing the ball back where he believes it was, or leaving it where it ends up if you moved it.
Yeah, they do try and keep things more or less friendly around here.
Yeah, this is an amateur tournament. Playing something like all ball fouls would be pretty strict.
He doesn't like being on the rail, but realistically, there's not a lot of problem here at all. He's got a good angle here to get.
Off or twisting off.
Okay, he's definitely got a ball in the break here. His break's been going really well.
Really?
They're staying away in droves.
What's that?
So they're staying away in droves. 3 people.
They're all sleeping. That's what's wrong.
Yeah, it's early in the morning. I
You
get
see
it.
that? Everybody's still sleeping. That's why there's only you know what I mean?
All right, this is definitely. We were talking about a lot of angle. This is a little bit of a tester here. He should be able to play the 2 in the top corner pocket after that ball, which he's done pretty well. He ran a little far, but he can still play this in the side. Either way, it was actually a great shot.
Did you tell me about him running into amateurs and stuff? Oh, okay.
I'm expecting him to
Yeah, take my first day.
either stop this ball or run it.
Full 2 rails up. Wow, I didn't expect him to shoot up there. I really thought we were going to see him shoot it in the side here.
Yeah. He had such kind of an acute angle into the side that he would have had to try to draw his cue ball. That would have been a lot of pace to try to stuff that ball on the side from that angle. So maybe he didn't care much for it, something like that, I'm guessing.
On these tables, I have found the side pockets are pretty accepting. So, in my experience, I've been more willing to shoot them in the sides than I think most
Yeah,
other
right.
situations. So, I tend to look for those sides a little bit more and be greedy about it.
This shot here lays a little bit tough for position on the 3. It lays better for position on the 3 non-combination, but nobody really wants to shoot that from this because he's going to be, if he plays for that, he's probably going to be somewhere about where the 2 ball is now. Maybe. He might be trying to draw back over here. Okay.
Wow. A little bit of love off that 6, and he is right in shape.
Right. That's a good shot.
well. Oh, let's try and
That's a good shot. He looks unhappy with it. Oh, is that the four-way up table?
yeah,
That's
that's the
I
four.
thought he was playing shape in the front.
Yeah, that is the 4-way up table.
That's trouble.
I forgot I took autofocus off. I mean, it's on manual, so this doesn't work now. So we'll do it when we get away.
We were going to attempt to zoom in on the side view camera.
Ooh.
All right, well, Henry's got ball in hand here.
There's really not a whole lot of challenges here. I mean, going one rail down for the two rails, you can end up on the bottom rail here, and the whole layout is kind of speaking for itself.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to avoid getting dead straight in on the 5 or something like that.
Even dead straight is not too terrible because you'll be able to just stop the ball and take a shot on the 6. But yeah, you almost in this game always want more angle
This
than
is just
none.
about ideal. He'll probably, I would assume he'd come up and touch the other end rail and come out past the 7. He'd shoot the 6 on the side, most likely. He was able to hold it, but that's pretty much perfect.
Looks pretty good here.
If anything, he'd have to draw straight back, so where that chalk is on the rail, something like that.
I think he's gonna have enough angle to cheat this side a little bit and go ahead and keep his
He does
cue
have a
ball.
good angle. Are we toggling between the camera views at all? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's good here.
Well, this definitely changes things up. That 7-9 combination is lying pretty well.
Yeah, it is.
I don't really see a whole other load of options here. The safe.
No, he's definitely firing at the combination. It's just downtown. There's an angle. It's not hanging in the pocket. I mean, there's 6 inches between the two balls. I mean, this is missable, but it's lined straight up. So I would say Martin's probably about a 2-1 favorite to make this, something like that. Maybe something like that. If I had to put a bet on it.
Oh, I hit that way too thin. Didn't really leave a whole lot. There is a bank on the side if you want to shorten this ball up really hard. You could also just play this 2 rails and put it down on the bottom rail here. Just create some distance, which is actually what I'm expecting him to do.
Yeah, it's kind of what it looks like he's looking at. I wouldn't be surprised to see him fire at the bank. You know,
You have to shorten it up a lot.
he's
Yeah, he elected to just go ahead and put it on the bottom rail and create some distance. It's the smarter shot in that situation.
probably so.
I was listening to you the other day. You sounded really good.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got a good natural ability.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, Martin's probably going to try to put this 9 ball in between the 7. All right.
I hit that one a little bit too hard. It almost looks like he was trying to just put the 7 on the short rail.
I think he was just trying to get the cue ball behind the 9. He overran it. Maybe caught it a little bit thinner than he was hoping to or something like that. He's left a little testy shot.
I absolutely expect Henry to be firing at this ball, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's going to shoot it. It lays natural. He's going to maybe put a little bit of low right on this ball and draw across past the side pocket and back out. He'd like to end up about where it is now, or it'll probably run a little further. He might be somewhere on the other side of the spot, something like this.
Just like
Well,
this.
he's overrun
Ran a little
that.
far.
Put a little bit too much draw on that ball. So,
Here you got two options. You can try and back bank this. You could try and bank it to the middle.
I think he's playing cross corner. He's going to try to bank it where his elbow, or he might just lay up completely. He's taking no
Yeah,
chances here.
he's really not taking it this early in the tournament. Really, that's kind of a smart thing to do. There's
type
no
of
reason to
game here,
overextend.
This type of game for Martin versus Henry. Henry, I think, would be considered to have a considerable amount more firepower than Martin, but Martin likes the one pocket. He likes the maneuvering game. This is where Martin can kind of hold his own against players with more firepower. He plays smart. He's kind of cagey. He moves the cue ball well. He controls the speed of balls well. So if they get into like a maneuvering battle, Martin can keep up. But if this turns into something offensive, Henry might tend to run away with it a little bit. If they played a long race, you have to favor Henry. He's a very straight. Henry might be the highest rated player in this tournament, actually. Henry's a very strong player.
Let's take a look at the bracket and find out. Actually, it's probably a good thing to look at.
Sure.
Oh, almost got a kiss there. Oh no, and he concedes the game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Henry was a favorite to make that 9-ball.
Something tells me it wasn't going to trouble him
He
too
could have
much.
made it with his cue, his shoe, his breath, whatever he wanted.
You ever seen a player do that? Actually get something out besides their cue to go ahead and hit it?
No. Speaking of Ron Schneider, this is we'll just here someplace. I'm not 100% sure.
She gave a nice little address before the tournament
so
started.
she was here. Okay, yeah, I showed up a
She was
little bit late.
definitely here.
That is a dry break. Hasn't left any offensive options for Martin.
Go ahead and give another look at that here.
So I think what we'll probably see here is like a kick and stick sort of shot. He's going to hit the short rail first with a lot of right English, sending the one ball probably around the 6 ball or something like that, and try to stick the cue ball in it, stop it in his track so that the 7 is in between the cue ball and the 1 ball. Okay,
Just
he came
like
in
that.
a little
He
bit
might even
deep
be able
behind.
to make this.
Yeah, he inadvertently made that ball. Now he's got himself hooked. I fully expect to see a jump cue come out now. Okay, maybe he's not a jumper.
There really is no clear avenue to kick at this ball, though.
Not really. Well, yeah, he's got a couple. I think he's got one rail to the right side of the screen.
I really think we're actually
he's going to
just
masse
gonna-
this.
yeah.
He's going to just elevate and try to bend this ball around, which is fine if you feel comfortable with that sort of shot. I mean, this lays pretty good for something like that. The distance is right to allow the cue ball time to bend. Yeah, he hit it great.
Just like that.
And
Gotten fortunate enough that he
Martin is going to stop his rock dead here if he can see the ball full in the face.
Great save there. 9 is directly in the bed.
Paulie Ames, I got that one.
Okay, so I just got word that we lose audio when we toggle away from this main view camera. So let me see if we can figure out how to do something about that. Jim.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay, so all right.
And I believe I missed a game here, so the score should be 5-2 now. Take a look at that.
No, it's still 4-2.
Is it 4-2 still?
Yeah.
Toggle to the other camera. Oh, goes
Okay.
and Biscuit Show.
Yeah, Martin's falling out of line here from the 7 to the 8.
I don't think this is working. I'm gonna have to let me in there real quick. I'll bring it into OBS. I gotta bring this one into OBS. It's that one, right? Okay, let's test it.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like
we
you
got sound.
You can see it right there. You're good.
Okay, all right. You should be good then.
All right. So we're still dialing our technical setup here with audio. We were told that we were losing audio when we toggled to the secondary camera view, so I think we've got that corrected now. Meanwhile, Martin attempted a safety on the 8-ball and hit it a little bit fat and ended up leaving Henry a shot. And Henry has got himself on the hill now.
Switch it and see if the other works.
Okay, testing the other scene.
Right. So Henry is taking a 5-game to 2 lead. The 2 games that Martin has were on the wire, so technically 5-0 in the actual match. Martin's going to need to pull off a
Minor
David
miracle.
versus Goliath scenario to get through this match. Again, Henry's super tough.
This is a double elimination tournament, so Martin's not entirely out of the running here, but he's going to send him to the loser side.
One lost side of the bracket. Again, there are 112 players in this tournament, if I saw that correctly. I'd like to scroll digital poll real quick. If you guys, by the way, if you're interested in the brackets for this tournament, it's posted on digital poll. Digitalpool.com, search tournaments, look up the Ron Schneider Memorial Tournament at Danny K's Billiards in Orange, California. All right, well, it's a good start for Martin because Henry is scratched on that break.
If ever he was going to have a chance.
2. Okay, well, that's the 7-9, so he's got a lot of stuff to do before he can get to the end of this round. But
Looks like just getting from the 3 to the 4 is really going to be the key to this rack.
yeah, well, the 5 to the 6 is tough because the 7, well,
But once the 3-4 out of the way, getting from the 5 to 6 should be more or less a pretty straightforward draw shot. The 7-9 is really an option here, coming off of the 6, but it's like you said, there's a ways to go to get there. Let's see where he ends up on this.
he's going to want to probably pull this back a couple inches, or maybe even just, yeah, that's perfect. And he's got himself another, essentially a stop shot. What we'd like to do is put a little draw on this ball and have your cue ball leak right towards the spot about, a foot and a half would be ideal if he has that kind of an angle. Do we have a side view camera?
Yes, we do.
He's got the 2 that he got on the wire. Okay, well, if this ball looks to be not makeable, he's gonna probably just thin this and try to leave something. Okay.
I don't really know if he's left him any kind of safe at all. This
Well,
is
Henry has 2 options. I think this
shooting this in the
probably
side with a
passes.
stop shot is probably the way I would see him playing this
If you're
here.
gonna play that, you might just try to put a little smooth draw on it and leave yourself. Oh, I'm looking at the balls wrong. They keep thinking that 7 is the 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I should be able to just pot this 3 in the side, stop the ball, drift forward for the 5 afterwards. He might even want to draw back an inch or 2 so that you get a little bit more of a natural roll forward off the 4.
He's got a few options. He's hitting with a high ball here. Maybe this 4 passes the 9.
I think he just made a mistake there. We might be seeing a bank.
You get close to this 5 ball from here. That's for sure.
I mean, if he can make the 4 in the side, really all he has to do is drift forward a little tiny bit, maybe go 1 rail and back out to where he
He's
is
got such a
now.
thin angle that I don't think he can avoid running his key ball to the long rail, and it's going to be kind of going towards that second diamond. So yeah,
Yeah, just where it was there, and now he's got a great shot for 5.
Well, he's going to have to probably play short side on the 6 ball here. I don't think he has enough angle to come across and play it in the same pocket. But that's not a huge
It's not
problem.
too terrible to play short side on the 6 here.
It's
You're
not.
really able to get on the 7 no matter what. As long as you don't end up straight,
Right, yeah, you just got
you should be just fine.
getting straight in on this ball. But in avoiding getting straight in, you're probably going to be tending to lay your cue ball right on the rail. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him shooting the 6 ball from somewhere near frozen. So he tried to avoid that. And
Paid the price.
ended up steering off the ball in an attempt to get himself a more palatable shot.
I would expect to see him just run the cue ball up and down between the 7-9 and get shaped basically where the chalk is laying on the rail up there.
He looks a little bit straighter than that, maybe.
This is a little bit of a thinner cut than he wanted,
I'd
but
be tempted to just twist this in with the right and kind of do similar to what Henry did earlier by running your cue ball towards the 9.
give it a shot at that 9. Why not? I mean, it doesn't add any sort of extra difficulty to the shot. If anything, it makes the 6 a little bit easier to pocket.
You don't want to end up with, oh, he's switching hands here. I just can't do this.
He's very confident making this ball then.
Well, okay.
Didn't quite bring it down as far as he wanted either. That
What kind
shot
of
just
makes
got away
this
from him altogether.
scenario a little bit difficult is that the 8 won't pass the 9. Nobody really wants to play the 8-9 combination, so you need to land pretty flat on the 7 ball.
I'm expecting him to load up with inside on this and try and bring it back down between the 7-9.
Oh, really? Okay. I feel like he might be just playing. Okay. Well, he got that rail first. Left it tough. That's a bit of a roll, but I think that's about where he was trying to play the cue ball anyway. He was trying to cut that in, go to the long rail, and drop back down, about right there. I think that's my assumption anyway.
And I expect we're going to see a safety right back here. Try and bring this 6 right back down near the 7 and leave the cue ball up in that top right pocket.
Or run your cue ball around towards the 9.
There is always that option.
He just went for.
Just decided to go
side to side.
short rails. Or long rails, excuse me.
This is the kind of shot where kind of a high-level player will eat your lunch. You know, he's got basically a free shot at the bank with natural position on the 7. So
Really have to punch this one hard. Oh, you're talking about banking it into the.
cross corner.
Excuse me, I thought you were talking about the cross side bank. I was
I
going to
think
say
he plays this cross corner. It's a dead natural shape to get on the 7. If you hit this a little short, it's a natural safety. Man, these guys are.
you really, really want to lock this up. And
Not
is
taking
he
any
going to
chances.
lay well?
Look
Look
at
at
that
this
shot.
position. Wow.
Good God. Well,
I don't think
There's any option here besides the jump, but even the jump's going to be a little dangerous with that 8 ball halfway in the way.
okay, this lays pretty good for a diamond system shot. Like if you hit just before the side pocket on the left side, I mean, with a little bit of running English, your cue ball wants to go right at that pocket. If you put a little bit more running English on it, you almost can't help but hit the 6 ball. You know what you got a chance at it. All right, thank you, Omar.
Thanks for letting us know, Omar, if we're still losing the audio. We'll take a look at it in a second right after this.
That's crazy because we're getting action on our audio mixer all the time now. That's weird. Anyway, okay. We may have to stick with this camera view until at least after this match, and maybe we have a few minutes to try to move some things around. He's trying to tie up the 8-9 even further. I don't care for
I really
this at
don't
all.
like this shot. Yeah. If you don't tie them up perfectly, you can sell out a combination.
Yeah, the 8 goes on the side pretty easily now. I think you need to just try to make it hit there.
I'm very surprised by that. He's going to come really, really short and leave himself with absolutely no options here. I thought he was lining that ball up a little bit too straight. I would have liked to see
He's
some
gonna
more
come
angle.
over. Oh, I'm surprised he's using the bridge. I would be standing over by where the 8 and 9 are and thinning. I'd really thin the other side of this ball probably. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other probably. Gotta watch out for the scratch. Look at that touch.
Wow, twice in a row, leaving it just in the jaws.
Now Martin is wondering what he did wrong in life to deserve all this punishment. I'll tell you what, it's not my favorite thing in the world to be called to the TV table first thing in the morning.
First thing on your absolute first match,
It's
yeah.
tough. It's June, you know.
It adds an element of stress to it for sure.
Nice shot.
He hit that about as well as he could,
Put
yeah.
a ton of right-hand English on that, and that checked the 7 ball. That's a good shot. You know, Henry has a shot at making this. The way things have been going, I don't expect him to fire at. I think he can, if he thins the left side of this, his cue ball's got a pretty natural path back to where it is, and the 7 ball will be kind of trying to duck over behind the 8 and 9, you know, towards the.
He could also try and overcut this 7 and then run the cue ball into the 8-9 and try and tie it up behind the 8. There's an option there.
It's possible.
I don't know if he likes separating those balls
If
at
you're
all.
going to do that, you might as well just try to make the 7 ball.
You 27 minutes, I believe.
Okay.
27. Almost there.
Yeah, he's underhit that one as well.
I know, I'm surprised that they didn't open it.
Okay, this is about as good a look as Martin has had in several innings at the table. So he's going to have to put a good stroke on the follow stroke on this and try to bring his cue ball down far enough to play the 8 in the side.
Getting
pocket.
shape on the 8 is absolutely going to be a challenge. Some
Well,
top left is going to bring you
there's
2 rails around to the middle.
There's a really juicy safety opportunity on the 8, you know, to just wedge the cue ball behind the 9 ball. But I think from here, you know, your opponent's on the hill. You haven't won a game yet. If
You need to get on the
have to try
scoreboard
and get
here.
out from here.
Absolutely. There's no real choice.
There's no ducking here. I mean, there is ducking here, but I don't think it's the right decision. Okay, that's a little shorter than he wanted, but he's got.
He's going to have a look at it. Let's take a look at this from
Problem
I think
with
they're
it
both
is that your
makeable
cue ball is
shots.
glancing off the 9 and wanting to run right down to this bottom right corner pocket. That's if you play the cut. I mean,
if
either
you
one, maybe.
if you run into the 9 at all, there is a chance that the 9's actually going to go about where the 8 ball is now and make the shot in the side a little bit easier too.
Well, you just make sure your cue ball doesn't end up down inside this pocket or right in front of it. You know what I mean? Okay.
Oh. Well, he hasn't left anything easy. This is definitely still a challenging shot.
Yeah. The position is incredibly difficult from right here. The shot is.
If anything, I would expect him just to
The shot's
cinch
about
the
a
ball.
6 or 7 out of 10 on the difficulty scale, and position's about a 9 out of 10 on the difficulty scale. He didn't
Even try it.
This is some conservative pull we're seeing here, but I understand that one. And that was, like I said, position was super tough. He hit that ball great. I mean, he's playing
Speed
well.
was practically perfect.
Yeah, really. Now, with how close this 8 ball stuck to the rail, it's hard to even try to bank this 8 up and tuck it against the 9 or something.
I'm expecting
like that,
to see
it's really
him.
double kissy. You know?
Yeah, he's just going to try for any sort of rail separation here.
You have to try it. You have to get a little bit thin with some checks. You got the double kiss. That's. I mean, this This is a cross-side bank, in my opinion. I don't,
Yep, you could stop the ball right there,
these
play the
guys-
bank,
These
and
guys haven't been trying these types of fairly risky shots, but
at this point, like you said, you haven't won a game yet. You really need to get on the
this is Henry.
scoreboard.
Henry's on the hill.
Oh,
here.
excuse me. I thought we had Martin shooting.
Yeah, he kind of went for it.
Is he gonna get the two
This
raise?
is gonna Martin's gonna.
Oh,
Martin is gonna have some reflection to do after this match. I'm not laughing at his pain, obviously, but I mean, it's just I definitely empathize with him. But that was a pretty rough roll right there. And he got the toughest player in the tournament first thing in the morning on the TV table, and his opponent is not only playing great, but he's also running great. So that's going to be the match. Tough one for Martin. Good win for Henry. Henry moves on to the winner side. Martin will be playing his next match on the one-loss side. So we're going to take a quick break.
There's the mixer here with both of them. I like the ability to be able to mute either one. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
We've got another match getting ready to start here. This is going to be Derek Kim versus Jonathan Heath. Derek is going to go to 6. Jonathan goes to 5. Also, Jonathan here warming up on the table. Yeah, I'm not familiar with it, but looks like it's got a nice confidence rate. We found a solution to our audio problem when we toggled to the second camera. We're going to stop toggling to the second camera. That's the solution. We fixed it. We're not loud about the other. If you have complaints, send them to James Stein on Facebook. He's your complaint department manager.
Why is this not moving over here? Oh, you know why? It's because I fixed it on the wrong one. That's why. What I want to do is move this here. There it goes. Okay, now I got the names nice and centered.
Okay.
Thanks, Rich.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right. We no longer have to share a microphone.
It was getting a little bit friendly there for a minute. Known Mike for a long time, but you know, there are certain lines.
I'm familiar with Derek.
I've never met either one of these players, actually.
He's, this guy travels a long way. Derek plays this tournament basically every Saturday. I think he travels from Simi Valley or somewhere way out there. Maybe it's Santa Clarita.
That's not a 2.5 hour drive or anything. Hey, Doug, let's go.
Yeah. We're going to stop talking.
We.
Is it still going out?
Yeah.
Right.
I just swapped it back to what it was to begin with, and we're not going to swap the camera anymore. Okay, cool. Thank you. No, we're off here. We have no audio right now. Well, because it's gonna show you the feed, right? But it's hardwired muted. Yeah, Derek. I don't know who this Derek is. When I see him, it'll be easier. Well, you know. Let's actually. I was curious too. Let's see. So.
Yeah, he's rated at
16. Let's see what everybody else here was rated. Do I see anybody higher than a 16 at all? There's an 18. Henry's an 18. 18. There's another 18. Paul. Yeah. Who the fuck is Paul? So it looks like you. Oh yeah, Damien's an 18. This makes sense. Jeff's an 18. Yeah. Okay. So you pretty much nailed it. Yeah, there's like 4 18s in the tournament total. Jeff, Damien, Henry, and that other guy we've never, Paul. And just okay, looks like we're getting ready to get back underway here. Derek has showed up, so we should have our match starting in just a second here. Looks like they're going to be flipping a coin. The handicap in this race is going to be 1 game. Jonathan's getting 1 going to 6.
Here's Derek, 1-42. This is the round tournament. The rule is no ball on the spot, 1 in the middle, 2 in the back of the line. As I said, I'm familiar with Derek. Jonathan, Derek's really tough. He's rated as 16 in this tournament.
18, I think, is the highest. We're just going over the bracket now, and 18 is the highest rated players in the tournament. There was 4 players rated at 18. And we're off to the races. Step 1 gets off the rail. Oh. Apparently it was just dead in the corner. No, I didn't see it at all, but what a great shot to open up the match. A lot of aggression we're seeing. Hopefully it doesn't get behind that 9. Yep, that 9's going to come right into play here. So you got the 1 railer, of course, and you'd like to get the cue ball to go past the 5, leave the 4 essentially where it is now. He likes to go a little bit harder and try and send the 4 out to the middle. I think he's going to leave a bit of a window here. If you can't see it, there is always the option to try and just prospect the 4, leave it near the 5 here, and run your cue ball up table. You might be able to create a cluster that's a little difficult to navigate. Great job. Yeah, he's still shooting. He's still got options here. You could bank the 5 in the side here. Looks like he elected for the bank, yeah. I was expecting to see a little bit of aggression. Really, a lot of the players here, I'm expecting to see a lot of aggression all day long. That's a great shot. Get back out to the middle of the table there. He could always hold this with some inside too and come basically to the same spot. I think there's personal preference here. You really could play this with inside or outside. Kind of went right in between the two of them, frankly. I agree with your shot. Little tiny bit of draw and pop it just around that bottom left corner pocket. I really like cutting this ball. Just cut this in that bottom corner, run the cue ball back near the chalk there. Oh, and it is not going to accept it at all. Hit it absolutely perfect. It looked like he was able to leverage the rear a little bit. I don't think he drew straight out, so. All right. We got Jonathan taking a 2-0 lead quickly here. This is a handicap tournament, so every single race you're going to see, we use a game spot here, not a ball spot, so every race is probably going to be starting with some sort of advantage one way or the other. And I think all the races are going to be, what, 5 to 6, right around there. Let me take a look at the bracket and see what kind of race we get.
My name is Mike Laus, and I'm here with Mark Ballin. We've been doing a little bit of commentary over on these the California Pool Action Vortex streams. They're live streaming some action matches on Friday and the occasional Saturday. We were there last night. There was a match between two gentlemen from Southern California. One named Mike Sosa, the other one was Tony Garcia. And we've done a couple matches. We're kind of just enjoying this, having fun. Definitely.
This is kind of, for me, this is a way I can help kind of give back to the pool community a little bit. Just, spend some time and chit chat and try and keep people entertained. Absolutely. I like to just close my eyes and poke the ball personally. Okay. Well, we got a really bad cluster down here. Really getting from the 6 to the 7, if you can find some way to navigate around there, is going to be the key here. I would actually like to see him break the cluster out when he gets to the 4. I'd like to see him... Yes, making a little bit of space. He doesn't have any angle to play any sort of breakout here. So I would expect just to maybe draw about a foot back. He could also elect to draw this quite hard, come back to the side rail and bring out to the middle, but I would expect just a foot draw. Just like that. I think he's very straight on this 6, though. I don't know how much wiggle room he's really going to have here. He might be able to cheat this. These pockets are a little large, so he might be able to cheat this more than I'm expecting and get some sort of angle to play the 7 in the side or up in the top corner.
I think he has enough angle on this 6 ball to where if he hits this like a high right angle, he can come in under and maybe try to pump that 7 ball up.
I think he's actually trying to draw into the 9 here. I think he's trying to just go into the stat. He had enough just to play straight over for it. Perfect.
Yeah, he felt pretty good. I think the more you can.
Absolutely.
What you don't want to do is come in too deep and kind of play the cue ball just like line straight up the middle of the rail.
You do have to worry about getting the separation between the 8 and 9. You're going to hit the 8, and you might actually roll behind the 9 afterwards if you don't hit this hard. Okay. I was expecting a little more angle. It was going to hit the 8 first, but yeah, that worked out real well for him.
So what I just learned is that there appears to be nearly completely ambidextrous. Well, he's on the 8 ball left-handed. I didn't notice a difference in his stroke. Usually people switch hands, they look a little uncomfortable with it. I had to stand up and look at him to make sure that he didn't have our video reverse. He stroking balls so like confidently and swinging two so straight opposite handed. I don't know if I've ever seen his hand like that. At least not that I paid attention.
He might have put some time into practice that one, yeah. All right, well, Derek strikes back. Amphibious. I don't think Aquaman signed up for this tournament, but apparently Derek's going to do his best impersonation. Once again, he probably didn't give himself the greatest rack there. You would expect a little bit better spread with how he hit that.
We're using, I think these are plastic triangles for racking. You have to work at getting a tight rack there. Maybe double part last time. So, yeah, I think he's well served. So he'll spend a little bit more time trying to get himself a tight rack and get a good spread.
I love it. Snow chance. No. No, he's not. This is white. Huh? Well, that definitely changes our pattern here. I don't really see any flushes. Now, the shot on the 1 is not really great. I would expect to see some kind of a safety here. I'm a big fan of trying to put the 1 down behind the 3, send the cue ball behind the 5, or in between the 5, 6, and try and get it behind the 7 up near the top rail here. It's hard to tell if he was trying to carom the 3 or if he really just wanted to kind of put it behind the 3 there. He's going to have a crack at it for sure. Calm and collected so far, yeah. So you just want to generate a little bit of angle here. Either way is fine. Going short side is okay. Personally, I prefer going a little bit of a longer angle, come off the rail there. But he can still get to the 5 here. Yeah, he's going to come straight up table, get it in the side pocket. You really were fine either way. It's a good drift. Bill will play that 6 in the top corner here. The 7 passes the 8. There's really not a whole lot of challenges left in this rack. Focus mostly on making the ball, and should be out here. Overran it a little bit on the 7, but no real problem. Just come back out to the middle of the table. Oh, unfortunate. Okay, well, Derek's going to come to the table quite pleased here. I think so. Yeah, he's able to hold the ball just fine. It's a little bit of a thin cut, but realistically, at these guys' level, there should be no issue making this ball. Absolutely. 2 rails is going to be a lot simpler here than trying to control the speed straight up and down. Makes the pocket a little bit bigger, makes the ball easier to make. Ooh, and he really tried to baby that. He didn't agree with you. Tried to just go straight up and down. You can see that you have to shoot that a little bit softer, and it's a more difficult shot to make. So,
especially if you could use that right English and toss the ball towards the ball, and you don't use any English, or if you use the opposite English, it's chance to try to create a lot of friction on that ball.
absolutely. And he's left himself a bit of a tester here. Really, you could shoot this in either pocket. I prefer shooting this in the bottom right-hand corner, a little bit of draw, and just nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Okay, Jonathan takes a 3-1 lead here.
I'm getting reports that Jonathan Garrett is 598 for me. From what I've seen, that seems low.
Either that or he's just having a great morning, one of the two. Well, he definitely was a little bit more careful with this rack. I think he remembers that he had a bit of a loose rack last time, and he was taking care to avoid that. So let's see how the break ends up.
Maybe this one won't look like a straight full rack after you break.
Much cleaner,
Okay,
much
that's not
cleaner.
going to count. This 9-ball on the break doesn't count. That's generally caught when they lead straight in like that. It's usually caught by one of the balls in the row behind the 9-ball not being completely frozen to the 9-ball, so it just gives the 9-ball tap to lead out. So the rule is that won't count, because you can do that intentionally and give yourself a pretty good chance to make a 9 real often on the break.
And I don't know if that rule is used everywhere, but that's definitely a house rule that's been in place here for many years.
Most places that I know of when you're racking your own balls and using the triangle as opposed to the template rack, that rule
Is that pretty widespread? I haven't seen it too many places. Okay. So he's given a push out here. I really would have liked to see the push end on the bottom rail, give him a lot more distance here. The combination is makeable, but either way. Yeah, it was pretty wired. Getting shape on the 3 here is not too challenging. He's fairly straight, so really just want to drift forward maybe 5-6 inches and take your medicine on the 3 here. Yeah, looks like he stopped it. Looks like he can still see the 3 ball now.
Another position on the 5. Super easy here. People are going to want to be on that.
This really depends on what happens up with the 9 ball. Yeah. He did, and he didn't have the room to make it, looks like. So he's going to get pretty fortunate with this. Yeah. So you have a 2-rail kick if you want to go to the right side of the table.
that 2-rail kick, that's his ball, kind of protects you on that 2-rail kick.
Absolutely. He got a double kiss after he hit that 3. But overall, the result is not too terrible there. He's got him jacked up over the 9. Makes the shot on the 3 a little more challenging, but the 4 lays so close to the front of the pocket. Wait, what? 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 Is that what he replaced the carnitas with? Bunch of horseshit?
Okay.
All right.
I suspect he would like to have a foot out of this ball, but get too much trouble. What do you think? 7 inside where the key ball's sitting right now?
I actually think he's going to play the 7 on the short side, on the left-hand side of our table. Oof. Didn't really want to get that close to the side, but I don't really think there's a chance to scratch there. Obviously, there is a chance, but that's a very low percentage scratch. So, absolutely, could have been easier. Still, he struck that really well, got back into shape perfectly, and here he goes swapping hands again. There he goes being amphibious, I think is what you said, right? It's a good shot. Okay, so Derek's keeping this a close game.
They've both won 2 games. Jonathan got 1 on the ladder to start the game. That's why it's 3 to 2 in favor of Jonathan right now. This is so far been pretty high quality match.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of mirrors here. Did the score not update? Oh, the score looks good.
Okay, Derek breaking from the left side, so you'd be looking to make the 2 ball. Another not very tight rack. Technically, that 2 ball, by the rules of this tournament, the 2 ball is supposed to be racked in the back of the triangle. Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal here. That's generally used when you're using a template rack where you can reliably play, for instance, like a 1 ball on the side of a break and then start playing position for the 2. Like if you rack the 2 and the reason they rack in the back is it's hard to predict where the ball in the back goes because generally on the break it tends to shoot straight down towards the bottom of the table and back up through the back, and then where it ends up is anybody's guess after that. So we ask them to rack the 2 in the rear of the pack, so it's unpredictable. Or the good players can play either a wing ball or the 1 ball. Play safe with the 1. You can start pattern racking and really do some damage in 9 ball in a short race winner break format.
Okay, I would have liked to see a little bit more distance there off the 1 ball. Looks like he's going to leave that 1-5 combination. There's not really a whole lot of an option for the safe because it's going to be difficult to carry the 1. It's going to hit the 6 or it's going to hit the 5. I think we're going to see some aggression here. Just like that. And he's done well. Done very well. Getting from the 2 to the 3 is a little tricky. Not so bad. Well, it just got more difficult. You really needed to make sure you got out to the middle of the table there, so you had a lot of wiggle room to do what you wanted to. Yeah, he's definitely want to be above the 8 ball there. And it's going to come short. He is limiting his options quite significantly now.
Well, all he can see of this ball is really enough to try to make it. There's no real safety potential on this shot. You can only really see the 3 for the maybe it's a little better than I think. But
he might be able to play the 3 2 rails up towards the top table, kill it on the 8, and run right into it. I think that's what he's aiming at, just like that. Except he was trying to bank it. I was hoping to see the same shot, but with a little less speed, and kill the cue ball there and use the 9-7 as a blocker.
if he had made that, this wouldn't be a bad shot on the board against the 6.
It really wouldn't be. Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
You're commentating right now. Yes, they can.
Yeah, this shot here is against that. It looks like there's just enough rail between the 4 and 5 line. If you had to cut this in the corner and try to get the 6 from about downtown.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, the 4 still goes by the 9, but really this 3-7 is tied up to the point where I don't think the 3 goes past to go up to the corner.
He's looking at a bank, a cross-side bank combination.
He might even just be firing at the 9 right here. You know, it's not so terrible if he can draw back behind the 8 and turn this into a 2-way shot. He can kind of take a free flyer. The 3 is actually going to go to the top right-hand corner pocket while the 7 is banking over. So realistically, there is a lot going on this shot. He's got a lot of ways to make something. However, if he does elect to play the safe while he's doing it and doesn't make the 9, he's not rewarded because the 4 is so dumped in behind the 9 ball there. So there's a lot of things he could be thinking here. Looks like he was trying to do just that. Got fortunate.
Got the extra rail.
I really just like rolling this up. Shoot the 3 to the end rail. Dump your cue ball in behind the 8 and just try and lock it dead behind the 8 there. Just like that. So the 1 railer is obviously the first choice here. That you might be able to play this 2 rails if it's not frozen to the 8 ball. You absolutely need to hit. Yes, you need to be hitting the 3 on the top half of the ball. There's no way around it. Oh.
There's a real opportunity to let some off this matchup in 3 games. So I predict these guys is obviously going to make 3 balls. I like the 4 match Billiards. I think, yeah, that's exactly where you want to be. I mean, he plays real good. I think 2 shots for that.
He's lined up for it. A little bit thin. The good thing about trying for the 4-9 billiard, though, is you do have the 4 in the side if it doesn't line up perfectly. So it's a good idea regardless. Yeah, shape to the 6 is pretty natural. You want a little bit of an angle here, just like this. You'd like to see him get above the 8 ball.
I would like more angle if we're going to get above the 8 ball here.
he elected to go out with it and put a little draw on that ball. Sure. You just come right back out to the middle of the table here. 2-rail shot. You don't really have to worry about getting up past the side pocket. This 9 goes.
I think I played that. I just draw this a little bit.
That's what you have to worry about. That's why I don't like going above the side. Okay, so technically you you do have to make your opponent shoot it, but most people are going to go ahead and just concede the game at that point, which Derek did.
Yeah, there's nothing in the rules about any penalties for conceding a game between the two players. Honestly, I would prefer that if we're playing on the screen table that there are no concessions. So I think it just gives the viewers a little bit more. They want to see
Right.
the winning shot. There's something exciting about the winning shot going down, regardless of how easy it is. So I think we're.
But at the end of the day, it is between the players.
We might see it. I don't know if we're going to try to change.
Maybe closer to the end of the tournament. Maybe when we get down to like the top 16, top 32, we can talk about doing that. But once again, that 9 is not going to count in the bottom 2 pockets.
Clearly, he's not focusing on freezing the balls in the bottom half of the rack, and then that's 2 times in a row. People or 9 balls deep in the pocket. And if I was Derek, Derek has the right to go up and inspect the rack at the top of the rack for himself, and that he leaves the balls on at 9 balls. And I mean, again, he's not winning the game line, but if it's a shot that you can make consistent, a ball that you can have consistently on the break,
You are removing something from your opponent, yeah.
Derek is within his rights to put a little more effort in the rack.
Okay, well, getting to the 2 is a little tricky with how close he is to the 1.
I don't like all this.
Yeah, I prefer a little bit of draw there.
I think he could have just kind of switched.
He's going to just get absolutely beautiful when he nudges that 5.
Now,
He's a real threat to get out from here. Between the 4 or 5 there, absolutely. Oh, and he's just overcut that ball. It's going to get fortunate. Looks like he can't see it because of the 5. Depends on the gap between the 8-5. Looks like you're right. There's not enough of a gap there. He was. He absolutely was. Is he going to put it right? Oh, really? That ball really had a chance to get put right back behind the 5 ball.
I'll tell you what, here, I play both sides of the floor. I do not try to throw back or work that side pocket to get deep
Yeah, the shot on the 4 is a little bit longer, but realistically the concession is there. It's easier to make the 3. The position is much more natural. Either way is good, but yeah, you're right. He definitely wants to get even or past the 5 ball to make this run out a little simpler.
I love this angle too. I like going out here faster than I playing on the cut like this as well. This is slightly thinner than I think you want. You like to be able to kind of twist this and run it already on your side pocket. He can still draw. Either that or you just play slow to the side, just like this. The size is definitely a concern. Playing for some big guys. He's a threat in this tournament. And very well. This is the amateur tournament. You're going to see guys missing, people missing on the TV a lot. This isn't the U.S. Open or whatever. This gentleman here, for his rating in this tournament,
He's playing very calm and collected. Oof. And right as you say that, we see him lose a chance to get on the hill.
Can everybody in the chat hear us okay? If you're able to hear us and enjoy the stream, let us know. Feel free to share this with your social media friends. Oh, you hit that. That wasn't his best effort. If you're going to miss that shot, you want to err on the overcut side, the thin side. He undercut that by thinner part of the diamond. That's just a recipe for selling out these slides. You just ride it in like it. No problem.
All right, well, that gets Jonathan up on the hill.
I'm rated exactly 30 Farba points higher than he is. I don't know if I want to play him even.
Has it really? Well, just so you guys know, Mike, you might have been able to hear him a little bit through my microphone, but he's been doing the bulk of the commentary, which is great.
You guys missed some great stuff. Sorry. Anyway, the gist of what I was talking about is how impressed I am with Mr. Jonathan Lee's pool game, especially for his rating in this tournament and in the Fargo system in general. He's tough. Playing really well. There's a tough customer too. All he can handle from this guy. If you guys can hear us in the chat, let us know. Have some feedback. Share if you would like to see some viewers as the day goes on. This tournament is very likely to be going on all into this evening. We got 112 players, and I think the plan is to try to narrow it down to 32, if not 24, by the end of play game, which, by estimation, which differs from the tournament director's estimation, apparently is probably at least 10 p.m.
Let's hope we get out of here by 10.
They're hoping
Yeah.
for 7. I'm thinking it's going to be longer.
That's a great shot. Is it going to stay up? No. Hit that one really, really well.
Super strong.
Really don't want to get hooked behind the 9 here. He can still go one rail to try and get hit on this 3. He's really shooting at this quickly.
He happens to make this ball. Probably going to run into the 6 ball. He'll have some stab with this shot.
That's not the way you want to miss that either. If you were going to miss that, you'd like to see the 3 ball go up table.
There's a lot of travel in these games. Ball, but there is an open path because they're saying that it's 3 rails between the 9 and the 5 and 7.
If he gets a little thick on it too, he can always just got a nudge. I mean, the shape was looking good though. Hit the ball great, absolutely.
Maybe 9.5 at the angle. And Dude, really straight. Would not surprise me one bit to see him make a very deep run in this tournament the way he's playing.
Wow, absolutely just fired the bank in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Showing no fear, taking a shot at everything here. To be fair, he is on the hill. He's got a comfortable lead, so might just be thinking of closing the game out. Not at all concerned about defense.
What's the word I'm looking for? A sharp contrast to the styles of play in our first match of the day. We had two
Incredibly
gentlemen,
conservative
they were playing very
match.
conservative. They weren't really taking any risks. They weren't willing to miss any balls and risk selling out. So they played a lot of games, even though they both played well.
Goes to show that sometimes you even make your own luck there. He was obviously, he missed that 5, got a little lucky, and it still went in. Saw the hand wave there, showing that he really wasn't attempting to make the ball that way. Still gonna run good. Still gonna run good.
Eric is now looking at the sky.
I think that's the second person this morning maybe contemplating their life choices.
Probably start a support group after the match is over. People who are victimized by the pool.
With a field of 112, I think they're going to have maybe 150 people on that list. All right, well, really no chance for aggression. Really, the only aggressive shot I'm seeing is some flavor of bank, but even then, that's a little too much. I really would rather just see him thin the ball. Oh, he's just going to kick it. Wow. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that choice at all.
He is no longer a fan of it. That was I'll be blunt. That was
Now with these balls here, do you like coming on the short side there like he is to come down the table, or you like giving a bigger angle out towards the middle first?
Well, I would have used it right out for sure. I would have played the same position, but I would have went those 7 angles go forward and come off the long rep right into the line of the shot.
I agree. It's probably the same way I would have played it.
Pretty good. Somewhere between pretty good and very good. See, I have a slow ball that but that's not really the kind of speed you want to play on something like that. So they're going to see this game.
Okay. Looks like Jonathan's going to advance.
6 games to 2, technically 5 games. So they look like the third game of the wire.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get the details for the next match posted, and we'll be right back. There we go. That's the camera angle I was hoping for. Okay, I think you guys missed that last bit, but this is an even race to 5 between Joe DeLeo and Larry Bauer. Joe is rated a 13 in this tournament. Larry is rated at 12. So Joe is slightly higher rated, but not too much, and not enough to warrant an entire game. Shape here from this 3 to the 4 is going to be a little challenging. Running into that 6 is going to leave you a really, really long shot. Trying to hold this ball for the 5 is also going to be a bit of an issue with this much distance, and being able to make the 4, there's not a whole lot of opportunity to hold it. So really, I think his best bet here is if he actually runs into the 5, try and create a new shot, create a new angle here. Let's see what he comes up with. He did just that. He was able to hit the 5 and generate a shot there. So all of a sudden, this entire layout is looking significantly more straightforward. I really like playing rail first here on the 5 to be able to come around the table, get back out towards the middle. Maybe about a foot left of where he is right now. Depending on how deep that 5 is, you might actually be able to play the bottom side. He went with my first choice. Ran that ball quite a bit longer than I was expecting, though. I really would have liked to see that stop in the middle of the table here. At this point, you've got a couple of options. He can go ahead and thin the 6 if he gets that bridge back out, which just looks like he's going to. Really like thinning the right side of the 6 ball here, send it up towards the 7, and if you can, possibly even get the cue ball to come back down behind the 9. He could be trying to bank this ball, could be trying to play the, looks like going rail to rail is another option as well. So he's done quite well. Joe is probably going to